beautiful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on the face of this very planet, we call it, we welcome you to another exciting edition of Radio Biafra Address from here in the Holy Land of Israel to the ends of this very planet. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. It doesn't matter where you are. I suggest, as Ikechukwu said earlier, that you tell those of them who are around you, because this is a very special broadcast which I have tried to make a tradition of bringing to you every Saturday, because we must dissect all the issues as it pertains to the restoration of Biafra, and at the same time continue the relentless unmasking of Jubril in Asorok. They've tried their best to confuse some of you, but they failed. Here we are to continue this very expose. Go and tell those of them who are around you. Tell them how they can each receive or listen to Radio Biafra. Radio Biafra is simulcasting on Facebook. We are on Radio 102.1 in some areas, 102.2. We are on radiobiafra.co. Not .com, it is .co. We are also on IPOB.org. You can listen via Radio Biafra app. If that platform is congested or is being jammed by the zoo, as they are fond of doing, we are on satellite. Satellite won't cost you very much. It is very cheap. Go and purchase strong satellite decoder. You will be able to watch both Radio Biafra. When I mean watch, I mean you can see the screen come up. You will listen to it. And also, you can afford to watch Biafra television as well. I have made this announcement before. Allow me to repeat. People should endeavor to provide strong decoder for their villages, for the bars where people drink, for the restaurants that people frequent, and also for the homes of people. Very, very important. That is one platform that the zoo cannot jam with relative ease. We are also on TuneIn app. If you go and download TuneIn, you'll be able to receive Radio Biafra. We are also on Simple Radio as well. I think it's called Simple Radio. Is that correct? We are on Simple Radio. You can download that app as well and search for Radio Biafra. There is no excuse why you shouldn't be able to listen. And I'm also sure that Mrs. Amaka is streaming this very content live on my Facebook page, Nnamdi. I'm sure they have opened quite a few, but you will see the one that is authentic. You go there, you will be able to follow this program as well. It is highly interactive. We are going to work together to unmask Jubril. It's a very slow, meticulous process. As I was saying to some people a few days ago, if you cannot understand the very clear distinguishing features between Jubril and the dead Buhari, how can you begin to comprehend the complexities of DNA results? So we are going and heading towards unveiling the DNA results. But first of all, we must continue painstakingly, step by step, to unravel this Sudanese man masquerading as Buhari. We must pray. Very, very important. We must call upon Chukwu Okike Abiama, because there is nothing we can do here without praying. So I suggest we, each and every one of us, bow down our heads in total submission to the Most High, for without Elohim we are nothing. And for those that do not know, we started worshipping Chukwu Okike Abiama from the very first day that Biafrans were created, because we are descended from the Most High himself. We must pray. Sometimes I want to pray in the language of heaven, and I'm sure some people would permit me tonight to be able to do that, because it is this very big burden that I have had for a very long time now, to be able to worship Chukwu Okike Abiama na asụsụ eluigwe. You will pardon me. Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, onye mma mma ya na-adịgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ mmalite na ọgwụgwụ, One note to onye isi yi nke ndụ. Amama macha macha onye ọbụla anya kere ihe niile kere kemana onwego onye kere ya. Chineke nna nke Abraham nakwa nke Isaac na nke Jacob. Chineke nna nke Moshe. Chineke nna nke Joshua. Chineke nna nke Samuel nakwa nke David. Chineke nna nke Eri. Chineke nna nke Shadrach, Meshach na Abednego. Chineke nna nke ndị IPOB. Onye mma ya na dịde ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. Onye anyị na-akpọ isi ala anyị ụtụtụ ehihie abalị niile n'ime ndụ anyị. Onye ike niile nọ n'ọgbadara aka ya, onye ọbụla anya pụrụ ịzọpụta Biafra enweghị onye ọzọ. Onye bi n'ime eluigwe a na-etu ya ebighị ebi. Ndị mmụọ ozi wee na-agba ocheeze ya okirikiri n'igwe wee na-akpọ isi ala nye ya. Ndị okenye oru abụọ na anọ wee na-atụ mkpọ ọlaedo n'ala na-asị ya na ọ dị nsọ. Ndị nsọ na-atụ ya na ọ dị nsọ. N'ihi na nsọ ka Jehova dị. Anyị wee na-ekele gị wee na-aja gị mma wee na-ebuli aha nsọ gị elu. N'igwe mgbasa okwu gị nke idosara ala nsọ gị bụ Israel. Ka anyị si wee na-eme ka mmadụ niile dị iche iche na mba niile dị iche iche ruo ebe ụwa sọtụrụ ka ha wee nata ozi ọma gị. Eze ebube dị ngọzi. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma wee na-eto gị wee na-agọzi aha nsọ gị. Na-asị gị onye bi n'ime igwe biko bịa ka iwe nụrụ ekpere anyị. Ka akwa anyị wee metụta gị n'obi. Ka iwe nye anyị amamihe na nchekwa gị. Ka iwe kpochapụrụ anyị ajọ mmụọ na ajọ mmadụ. Ka iwe rọpụtara ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra ụzọ ebe ụzọ na-adịghị. Ka iwe bulie ala nsọ bụ Biafra elu. N'ihi na anyị kwere gị nkwa na ga-eji wee chọrọ gị aja ma Biafra wee bịa. O nweghị ihe ga-egbochi anyị ife gị nna nke ebube dị ngọzi. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị ka ịma mma gị wee bata n'ime ndụ anyị. Ka okwu nsọ nke gị nwetara anyị n'ọnụ na nke dị ebere ka anyị wee gbasaa ya ka ụwa niile wee ghọta na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ Chineke na bụ onye anyị na-efe. Naanị gị bụ Chukwu okike abịa ma onye bịa gị nso wee mara onye bụ. Ọ bịa bụ ihe abịa ma gosiri nna nke dị nsọ. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ okike. Anyị wee na-efe gị wee na-aja gị mma wee na-akpụ isi ala nye gị na-asị gị onye pụrụ ime ihe niile bikonu. Bịa ka iwe wezuga ala nsọ ebe Biafra n'ogige ekwensu bụ zoo Naijiria obodo ọchịchịrị. Ka ihe gị wee bata n'ime ndụ anyị. Ka ụwa niile wee si n'ezie n'ezie na ụmụ Biafra bụ ụmụ Chineke. Ka ha wee si n'ezie n'ezie na Chukwu okike abịa ma nke Nnamdi Kanu na-akpọku. Na ọ bụ ya bụ ọkaka. N'ihi na Biafra ga-abịarịrị. Anyị ga-aja gị mma ma too gị. Anyị ga-enye aha nsọ gị otuto na nsọpụrụ nke pụrụ iche wee kasị ihe niile. Anyị ga-eto gị. Anyị ga-aja gị mma. Anyị ga-akpụ isi ala nye gị ma bulie aha nsọ gị elu site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise. 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 If you go to heaven right now, that is the language that the angels are singing and praising Chukwu Abiyama with. We have just prayed in the language of heaven. If you don't know, perhaps you can begin to seek interpretation and clarifications. We must proceed this very evening. We are going to be interactive. If you go to Radio Biafra London, you will get this very broadcast as well, being streamed on that platform. On Radio Biafra page, we are there. We are going to be as interactive as possible. Because if we are not interactive, there is no way that people can follow what we are talking about, because the deception from the cabal is unbelievable. But we must unmask them. We must speak the truth on this very platform. Our enemies may not like it, but they have no choice. They can sack all their workers in all their embassies, in all their high commissions all over the world, as they have done to those in London. It doesn't matter. They sacked people in London. They thought that IPOB got their information from the Nigerian High Commission in Britain. That's what they thought. Mistakenly, they have now sacked over 50 people, thereby seriously, or should I say adversely, affecting the welfare of the children in that very home, or in the various homes that they have decided to lay to waste their parents. They thought IPOB get their information from their consulates and from their embassies. How mistaken they are. How mistaken they are. For those who are still doubting the truthfulness of what we are preaching on this platform regarding Jubril, if today you consider that over 50 workers have been sacked from Nigeria High Commission very close to Trafalgar Square, on this very day, not in Northumberland Avenue, to be very precise. If you consider that very fact, that today they have laid off over 50 staff working for them, that tells you all you need to know. They think that I get my information from the Nigerian High Commission, but they are wrong, they are mistaken, they are being misled. Whoever advised them to take this course of action will live to regret it, alongside those that made the decision at the Foreign Affairs Office of the Zoo. We are here again this very evening, as it was when I came out of illegal detention, so it was on Wednesday night. I don't know if some of you saw it. There was a full moon, and inside, no, I wouldn't say inside a rainbow, in the middle of the night, was a full moon and a star. The same thing that happened when I left Kuje. Those of you that came to my house on that very day can testify to that. A circle rainbow with the sun and a star inside it. This time around, it happened in the middle of the night. Maybe because I'm not in Biafra land. I am in the Holy Land of Israel. Those that can see in the spirit will understand what it means. As we were on the threshold of welcoming Biafra before last year, to be very precise, so shall it happen very soon, to the surprise and shock of many, especially those, Haneze, Ndiaran, and Dioshu, because Biafra is going to come. Somebody saw it and raised the alarm on social media. They said, can you go outside and see what I'm seeing? People started asking questions. What is it that you're seeing? He said, the moon over Biafra land has a star beside it, and both are within a circle. Full circle. I wish people can try and repost that very picture this evening. Yesterday was our rally all over Biafra land. Our men came out, very gallant men, you need to see them, impressive and dedicated. These are the people that will drive us relentlessly towards the restoration of Biafra. There is nothing the damnable Zoological Republic can do about it. We came out all over the place. We went to Nnewi to go and evangelize. The zoo police, the Nigerian police, decided to abandon whatever it was they were doing, perhaps collecting money from people at the various checkpoints they have in and around Anambra State. They rushed down with their guns blazing to come and kill people once again. They did not go to Sambisa Forest to fight, where Boko Haram or Al-Qaeda or ISIS, whoever it is that is decimating them in large numbers. But you have Willie Obiano encouraging the zoo police and their army to kill our people once again in Anambra State. Because anytime they come, we keep quiet. That has emboldened them. So now the zoo can come anytime they like to kill IPOB family members. But as Chukwukika Abiyama would have it, in our very peaceful nature, the whole incident passed without any major deterioration of law and order within Nnewi. Why they came and who sent them remains a mystery. I think we are getting very close to the time where I will ask IPOB volunteers, if you're on a peaceful protest around Biafra land, if the police were to come close to you to try to fire at the crowd, you should overwhelm them and take them down. If it happens again. Now I am warning the Nigerian authorities that IPOB will continue marching because we are peaceful. The same thing we are doing or we did yesterday at Nnewi and all over Biafra land that passed without any incident. We do that all over the world. If you ask American government officials, they will tell you that IPOB march all the time. In the UK, it is the same. In Europe, it is the same. Here in Israel, IPOB protest and we march, we hold rallies here. With the same thing always, just our flag and flyers. Why must it be different any time in Biafra land? Why must it be different? And can somebody tell me why Aba is not working? Can the coordinator in Abia State tell me the reason why our relay station in Aba is not working? Because it ought to be working and it should be working. If you're not receiving Radio Biafra, please indicate. Ikechukwu is here and he will tell me. As always, what we do here is unorthodox. We developed our own template, our own niche. How we broadcast and how we interact with our people all over the world is very special to Radio Biafra. That is how we perfected it. So if you're expecting us to perhaps toe the line of other, should I say, more traditional media platforms, whoever is in charge of Nigeria police in Anambra State, IPOB will continue to march. And heaven knows if you come out again to confront IPOB, I will give the order for these boys to go after you. So you better not come. Biafra is our land. We are not protesting in Arewa land. We are not protesting in Yoruba land. We are in our own land protesting peacefully. Peacefully protesting with flags and leaflets. I don't know what goes into the mind of your average Nigerian police commissioner to think you can come out and kill us like before. It will no longer happen. I assure you. If you try to see what will happen. Because we will continue to march. The next time it happens, I will give the order. I'm a very peaceful man. And they all know this. They've been pushing us for years. Every time we go to protest, for no reason, they come and they kill us. We keep quiet. We go out to protest, they kill us, we keep quiet. If it were white people, a white government, they will understand and say, no, these people are unarmed. Let's not try and kill them. But because we are dealing with demons from Africa, black people, they don't reason. I think his name is Haruna, the Anambra State Police Commissioner. He has children. I can give the order for his children to be killed. I can do that comfortably and it will happen. He goes about ordering his policemen to kill other people's children. These are men without conscience. When we react tomorrow, the world will not tell the story properly. The Yoruba newspapers will distort facts and figures as they normally do. We are telling them, if you're a friend to Nigeria police, tell them that IPOB will continue to march in Biafra land. Believe you me, if they come out with their guns again, we will meet them. It is a promise. It's also a pledge. This nonsense cannot continue. We have said there will be no elections. Try defeating IPOB with a superior argument. Before we do anything, we debate it, we argue it, we discuss it. And then we come up with the very best solution to address any given problem at any given time. Why is it, therefore, that the zoo must send their police to come and kill our people all the time? It will not happen. Go to Sambisa forest where you are being dealt with by Boko Haram that you claim you technically defeated. Boko Haram is killing you. Every blessed day you don't want to go there and fight. You prefer to fight unarmed people with flags and sticks and leaflets and flyers. And you claim you're a police officer, you claim you're an army officer, you're fighting people that are unarmed, marching peacefully on the street. If you try it again, there'll be very serious trouble, I assure you. I hope the world can understand this. If we're dealing with white people, it will be different. They will understand. All over the world we march. In Japan we march. In Germany we march. In Belgium, in Norway. Everywhere IPOB can protest. Why can't we protest in our own land? Why must we be killed? Because Britain tells Nigeria nothing will happen. We are the United Nations Security Council. You can do whatever you like. You can kill as many people as you like. We are Britain, will defend you. If anybody comes to shoot at IPOB again in Anambra State, I will hold Obiano responsible. And his family will pay very dearly for it. I assure you. I swear to you, I'm in heaven. I assure you. However they want it, we'll give it to them. We have come to peacefully restore Biafra. We are not looking for anybody's trouble. Nobody can point to anything and say, this very bad thing was done by IPOB. None whatsoever. They kill us and we keep quiet. And we can no longer keep quiet. If they come again, we will confront them. So if you have your son or your daughter in the police or in the army, and they are sending them next time to go and kill IPOB family members who are on a peaceful march to sensitize our people and to evangelize, if anything happens to that very person, don't blame us. You can't blame us. How can we be in our homes and people are coming to kill us? We must defend ourselves. Let them not say I didn't tell them. Yoruba newspapers can write all the rubbish in the world they are paid to write. I repeat, Yoruba newspapers, Punch, Nation, all the rubbish gutter newspapers from Yoruba, they can write all the nonsense they like. All the rubbish they like, they can keep writing. Nothing is going to stop us from restoring Biafra. Absolutely nothing. There is nothing they can do about it. If you feel you cannot stay in a country without Biafrans, that is your business. We never knew who you were before the white man came. The worst we ever did was to trade. That's all. How come all of a sudden, because of oil and gas, you have lost your senses? You publish whatever crap and nonsense they give you. A policeman fell inside the gutter, inside the sewage. And you wrote that IPOB killed a police inspector. That we killed a police inspector. What a lie. The same stupid inspector got up and was walking away. But all the newspapers in the zoo, we are washed with this lie that IPOB killed somebody. Have you noticed it? When it comes to IPOB, it's no longer alleged. Nobody alleges anything. It is IPOB killed. When they kill us in our hundreds, they say alleged. The army alleged to have killed IPOB. Do you see how evil Yoruba newspapers are? If not that I have a few Yoruba friends, I'm telling you the truth, I will lay into them very seriously. They have the lives of Fanike Ode to thank. And because they are married to our sisters. Some of them. Or else I will go into them seriously. Yoruba newspapers should stop playing the devil. They are evil. They are evil. Absolutely evil. Absolutely evil. They are evil. And they will go down with the zoo that they represent. If you cannot stay in a country with Fulani, Awasa people, then fight for Duduwa. And stop being cowards. Fight for something, for goodness sake. Stop clinging on to Biafra as if your life depends on it. Stop it. And stop writing junk all the time. I feel sorry for those that read all the rubbish, all the garbage that they churn out. It's because of the Yoruba churches you go to. Some of you. You can no longer reason properly anymore. They are busy destroying us. They are busy destroying us. Destroying us in our way of life. And some of you think it's a joke. How can a newspaper lie? When the commissioner phones a Yoruba editor, they write all the junk coming from the mouth of the police commissioner. Every nonsense they write. When they kill IPOB, they don't report it. They don't write about it. Evil people. Very, very, I speak the truth. I don't give a damn who is concerned. If you know what I've done, come out and say it. I speak the truth always. Because I'm under oath. And that's how I was born, to speak the truth. Yoruba newspapers should mind their own business. A Lauren is under Fulani occupation. An emir is the ruler of a Lauren, not an Oba. Yoruba should go and fight and take back a Lauren from Fulani people and leave Biafra alone. Leave us alone. You must leave us alone. I will compel you to. In a way you would not like. In a way you would not like. Leave us alone. We must continue. If the zoo has any sense, they must thank me. I am the one stopping IPOB from getting overheated. Let's put it that way. I have been the one calming them down. Calming them down. Stop pushing us. If you have a superior argument, present it before IPOB. If you defeat us, we'll go with you. That's how we are. Don't try to think that you can compel us to be part of a damnable zoological republic. Something not created by Elohim. Nigeria was created by a man. The name Nigeria has no meaning. It makes no sense. Even to an animal, it makes no sense. We don't want to be a part of it. Convince the people as to why they must be part of Biafra. Don't use guns and bullets and think and intimidate us into submission. You are wasting your time. I assure you. You are seriously wasting your time. This is Radio Biafra. If you're joining us for the very first time, the time now here in Israel is approximately 26 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock in the evening. We are reaching you from the studios of Radio Biafra. If you're listening alone, you're making a very huge mistake. You must listen with other people as well, because this is the gospel of truth, the gospel of enlightenment, and the gospel of hope. And we must preach it because we are under divine instruction to preach this very gospel undiluted. The World Igbo Congress has declared their support for what we are doing in IPOB. I'm coming to Jubril. I'm just telling you what happened, basically, within the week. The World Igbo Congress, they have declared their support, total support for the stance of IPOB, that if nothing remarkable is happening, then we must boycott the elections, and we welcome that. I hope they don't change. You know, some people, they get up in the morning, they're looking for a way to get close to the Fulani oligarchy, maybe for one contract or the other. And they issue statements like this, and you think, hey, they're with us. Before you know it, they're going to start embracing and hugging them and selling us out. We don't want that to happen again. If WIC is serious, then we welcome them, and we shall work with them. If they are serious, that is. But if they are not, then we kick them into the long grass as we've done to those that came before them, and try to mess around with us. This is IPOB. So, Professor Anthony Ejiofor, the World Igbo Congress chairman, we welcome this very beautiful development. But I hope it is not to do a deal with Fulani people, because we will say no. Everything we do now with people will come out in the open and say it. Nobody can cut a deal with the name of IPOB. It is impossible. You can't. Nobody can. Nobody can. Because our destination is the restoration of Biafra. As I said earlier before we prayed, over 50 staff at the Zoo High Commission in London were dismissed. They gave them a letter terminating their employment. They thought they are the ones giving Nnamdi all the information with which I've been preaching to the whole world. That's what they think. Do you know what got to them? How did I know that the aircraft stopped in Casablanca? How did I know that the aircraft left Luton Airport? Why did I mention Luton Airport? Who gave me that information? How did I know that the aircraft left for Saudi Arabia and nowhere else? So you know what they're thinking? They thought it is their staff in London that gave me all the details because I live in London and I hold British citizenship. That's why they're sacking all of them. Do you see how they behave? The zoo people, we call them. Now you know why we call them a zoo. They think I get my information from London. Why is it that Yoruba newspapers won't even write about Osibajo when they called him a coordinator? You know the time they called Osibajo coordinator? Not even vice president, coordinator. No Yoruba newspaper spoke. None whatsoever. Yoruba newspapers know that Buhari is dead, but they are terrified. There was a Yoruba man that should have taken over from Aguiyi-Ironsi when Aguiyi-Ironsi was killed. His name is Brigadier Ogundipe. I told Yoruba newspapers not to upset me. If you upset me, I will lay everything bare, and the world will laugh at you if you don't know. Brigadier Ogundipe was chased away from Dodan Barracks by an army recruit a Fulani man, recruit. He ran away to London as the ambassador. He did not succeed in Ironsi. They pushed him out. They never complained till today. The same thing is happening to Shibajo. Buhari is no longer there, but they cannot rise up and fight. Tora Akunyili fought for Jonathan, his brother, or her brother, I should say, because I have to be grammatically correct here on Radio Biafra. Makandi Uchu. Dora Akunyili spoke so that Ebel Azikiwe, that's his name, Ebel Azikiwe, those that claim a joy is nothing to do with Biafra, we are a joy people. I look at some of you and I laugh at you because your ignorance stings from here to high heavens. Ebel Azikiwe, good luck, the former president. Dora Akunyili stood up and said, Yaradua is dead. Despite their numbers in this very administration of Buhari, the dead one, no one rose up to openly pronounce that Buhari had passed on. None. That is why Sibajo is not the president today. Instead of Yoruba newspapers to write about it, they are concerning themselves with Biafra and issues that has nothing to do with their well-being as a people. This is Radio Biafra. We must continue. Inasmuch as I take no delight in the loss of any life, I don't like people being killed. I'm a very peaceful person. Anybody who knows me understands that that was how my father brought me up. My father's palace is called Omudo's Palace. My father is a peacemaker. I grew up in the village, very close to my father. And I watch him adjudicate on cases. I see him judge cases. My father never ever advocated for any confrontation of any sort. All his life that I've known him. All his life that I've known him. So I'm a man of peace. I take no delight in the loss of any life, especially when it concerns Biafra. Because those being killed by Boko Haram, or should I say Al-Qaeda or ISIS, are all Biafrans. I want you to understand this, and this night I will attempt to explain what is actually going on that some of you don't know. I find it very laughable that the almighty Nigerian army that brought armored personnel carriers to my house, they brought 2 fighter jets, they brought 2 helicopter gunships, they brought a battalion of soldiers to my house to kill me and my men, to kill my parents. But I had no guns. It's only a microphone that I use. My father is a traditional ruler. He doesn't have a gun in his house. The people that came to see me, my men, we only carry Biafran flag. But the Nigerian army deployed a full battle group to come to my house to kill me. Now, this is why I keep telling you all the time that black Africans have something wrong with their brain. And I will explain to you the reason why I say this all the time. You came to the house of somebody that has no gun with a full battleship. Should I say a battle group? Helicopter gunships, 2 Air Force jets, and a battalion of soldiers with armored personnel carriers to come to my house to kill me for no reason. Nobody revoked my bail. Absolutely, I had done nothing wrong. If I did something wrong, Binta and Yako would have recalled my bail, but I did nothing wrong. Everything I did was within the confines of the Constitution of Nigeria, even as flawed as it is. They came to my house to kill me. And now, you have Boko Haram in the so-called Sambisa forest. Why don't you deploy all these armaments and armory to go and fight Boko Haram? Why are you looking for IPOB and civilians? When you see IPOB walking on the road, you see them, they lie down, they take aim. It's like they're in a battlefront. And how can you derive any joy as a soldier killing unarmed, innocent people? Is that what you were trained to do? Now that Boko Haram is killing you people in Sambisa forest, what have you done? Nothing! I saw a Yoruba army officer crying on video. Did you see it? our equipment is not good, but when you come to killing Nnamdi Kanu, when you come to attack IPOB, all your equipments are working. But when it comes to you defending yourselves against an equally armed opponent, you start crying. It's Shagari that bought equipment for us. Do you see their hypocrisy? Do you see why I call that place a zoo? I take no delight in Boko Haram killing anybody. But there is something I must tell the world this evening that some of you don't know. Boko Haram was like IPOB before. Do you know that? They were peaceful, agitating for an Islamic state in the northeast. Understand this very well. I don't know who feeds foreign governments their news. I don't know what the ambassadors are doing in Nigeria because they lie to their governments. I'm sorry to say this. Most ambassadors in Nigeria, they lie to their host governments. My joy and happiness is that the whole world is listening to this very broadcast, including every powerful country in the world. Do you know that Boko Haram was peaceful? They won't tell you that. Boko Haram didn't just wake up one morning and become a terrorist group. Something caused it to happen, and what is that thing? The same thing they tried to do to me. The day they came to my house, I can assure you, had they killed me, Nyan Wood and his family would be dead by now. The same thing with every governor in the southeast, and they know this very well. Now, if had they succeeded in killing me on the 14th of September, what do you think IPOB would do? Do you think IPOB would fold their arms and just be watching you? No, they come after Nigeria. In a very grand style, I assure you. Worse than Boko Haram. You have all over the world people talking about, oh, Boko Haram is this, that. It is a lie. It was Nigerian government that caused Boko Haram to metamorphose from a peaceful group agitating for a Sharia state in Northeast to a terrorist group. It is the fault of Nigeria. That is the fact of life. Nigeria, out of their stupidity and wickedness, created Boko Haram. Are you following what I'm saying? I hope people are following what I'm saying this night. Do you know how Boko Haram came about? They killed Mohammed Yusuf. Mohammed Yusuf was the founder of Boko Haram. They killed him. What did he do? He said he wants a referendum in the northeast so that people can follow Sharia. And that is their business. When the white man came, when the British came, they used to call them the Emirates of the North. So they had their Sharia system. It was the British that brought this thing to them, forced them to follow their way of, and they said Boko Haram, Western education is bad. They never meant, not for one day, to pick up arms. It was when the Nigerian police and their army went to Maiduguri, killed Yusuf, started killing people indiscriminately. That was when they picked up arms. So tomorrow they will keep killing IPOB. Any day we say no, enough is enough, and we pick up arms, they say we're a terrorist group. Now, do you understand it? It was Nigeria that caused Boko Haram to tip over to the other side and become an armed militant group. But when people talk about Boko Haram, they talk about Boko Haram from a viewpoint of ignorance. They've done terrible things. I'm not trying to excuse that. Very terrible. But when they were killing Boko Haram members, what did you people say? Nothing. Because the police commissioner will pick up his phone from Maiduguri and call a Yoruba newspaper and say, these people that are here, they're making trouble, they're trying to kill a policeman. They will just go and write. Have you seen the consequences? Do you think Fulani people are more intelligent than Biafrans? Does anybody think that? Imagine if IPOB were to pick up arms, what would happen? Just think about it for 1 second. We don't want to. All we are asking for is Biafra, peacefully. But you cannot. You cannot, I assure you, intimidate us into abandoning this very effort. They are using, it's Turkey that is now supplying them with ammunition. Do you know that? They wonder how we know. They use Turkish Airlines to fly arms into Iguacha, preparing for the onslaught. When it happens, as always, I will tell you, is there anything I've said before that didn't come to pass? People should, is there anything I've told you before that didn't come to pass? They'll be wondering, how do we know this? They are bringing in weapons into Iguacha using Turkish Airlines. They think we won't know, but we know. We know. And soldiers, we are coming to Jubril. Don't worry, I'm coming to Jubril. And tonight we are going to, I will tell you something that will shock you about Jubril and the dead Buhari. But first of all, we must deal with this. Because there seems to be a lot of misconceptions about what is happening in Nigeria. After politicians in Nigeria, the next set of worst people are those they claim are their service chiefs, those in the army and the police. And after that, you have Yoruba journalists. They are absolutely evil. Evil beyond evil. What they do is they connive to keep the fake one Nigeria going because of what they get. Some of them think that without oil and gas and the presence of Biafrans, that Fulanis will overrun them within a week. That's their fear. And they know that's what's going on. Instead of them to be very civil about it, to say, oh, please, don't go. Because if you go, we are at the mercy now of Fulani Caliphate. They keep twisting and turning, twisting and turning, twisting and turning. Deceiving themselves and not us. As I was saying about the army. There was an attack. Was it yesterday they attacked the army, or was it 2 days ago? You know why I need to ask is because I need to clarify with the people out there so they can be following us. I know it's 2 days ago. But I still ask. Because you find out a lot of things by asking questions. Now, 2 days ago, an army formation was attacked in Sambisa Forest, so they claim. First, they said it was Boko Haram. Later on during the day, they changed. They said, no, it's now ISIS. Do you know why they changed it from Boko Haram to ISIS? Because they claimed before the United Nations that they have weakened Boko Haram. They have been technically defeated. In other words, if they stand up and say that that very audacious attack was carried out by Boko Haram, the world will laugh at them. So now they said it's ISIS because, you know, ISIS has a reputation. It fights governments. So the world can feel sorry for them. So Trump can give them helicopters. So that Britain can even supply more arms. So that arms can come from Turkey and from China. And when you give them these arms, they do nothing with it. They use it to kill only civilians. Now, let me tell you what happened about the attack. I say this to the military intelligence in Nigeria. If you claim ISIS carried out the attack, then the people that carried out the attack is the direct creation of the late Muhammadu Buhari. Ask me why and I will tell you. Do you know who is ISIS? In the zoo. What they tried to do with IPOB and failed, they tried the same thing with Boko Haram and failed as well. And I will tell you what it is. Nigeria government brought out from prison, mind you, the son of that same Muhammad Yusuf that founded Boko Haram. Because Buhari pleaded with Boko Haram. You know, I know them very well. I know Boko Haram very well. Buhari pleaded with Boko Haram to stop attacking mosques in Maiduguri and in the north. Boko Haram said no, that these were the preachers and the imams that sold them out to the zoo police and to the army. So, you know what Buhari did? He decided to create another faction. If you remember, go back to Google and search. They created another version of Boko Haram. But the name couldn't stick. Because Shekau came out to make a video saying, I am still in control, I'm still in charge. They now quietly moved them away to the ideology of ISIS. The person that Buhari used to do it is called Al-Banawi. Al-Banawi is the son of Muhammad Yusuf. He is the one responsible for attacking soldiers in Adamawa and in Gombe. Go and ask anybody that works within the intelligence circles of Nigeria and they will tell you the truth. Who formed ISIS in West Africa? Muhammadu Buhari. How? Because he said, since Shekau is affiliated since Shekau is affiliated to ISIS, that this boy now will be affiliated to Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb. I must get this absolutely spot on. So when you're quoting me, you quote me correctly. Shekau took Boko Haram to ISIS. Buhari formed another group to split Boko Haram into two, but he didn't succeed. The group he formed, led by this boy, Al-Banawi, he was in federal high court in Abuja Some of you don't know this. He was released by John Tozo, the same judge that wanted to jail me. They said they had no case to answer. But they have no case to answer. They were released and given funds to challenge Shekau. Of course, Shekau is too strong. They didn't succeed. They affiliated their group to Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb. Understand this very well. So if you say the attack was carried out by ISIS, that means it was done by Shekau. If you say it is not Shekau, it must be done by, or it must have been carried out by Al-Banawi, the son of Muhammad Yusuf, that the Nigerian government, including Buratai, is backing. Ask yourself this question. Why do they always attack any command post manned by Biafrans, by Igbo men? Ask yourself that question. Why do they always attack formations and command positions manned by Igbo men? Some of you don't know this, but we know. Some of you don't know this, but we know. And I'm telling you tonight, go and check it. And you see that everything I'm telling you is, these are the things they're hiding from you. These are the things they're hiding from you. This is why they want Nnamdi Kanu killed. This is why they want to suppress IPOB. Because I tell you the truth. Ask them. Go back and ask Yoruba newspapers. They like writing rubbish. Ask them. Can you remember that time ago when they said Boko Haram had split into two? Who is the leader of the other Boko Haram sect that Buhari announced happily has split into two and will negotiate with them? His name is Al-Banawi, the son of Muhammad Yusuf. He is affiliated to Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, while Shekau is affiliated to ISIS. So if they don't want to give the credit to Boko Haram for carrying out that audacious attack, it means they are being economical with the truth. And of course we know that Nigerians lie. Nigerian government, they lie. They love lying. Is their second nature. So what do you expect? And do you know why they carried out the attack? So to deflect your attention away from tonight's program, you know this unmasking of Jubril is becoming too much. So they arranged to have them attack a position, a military outpost manned by an Igbo man and Igbo soldiers. They put them together and killed them. So now you'll be discussing, oh, things are bad. Because, did you notice that all of a sudden, the plenary session of the Senate was suspended? So all your attention will go to the attack in Sambisa Forest and not listen to Nnamdi Kanu or Radio Biafra. So your mind will go away from the unmasking of Jubril, which is a collective effort, to thinking about the army. And, oh, we need more weapons. So, but which weapons did you bring for Operation Pattern Dance 1, Operation Pattern Dance 2, Operation Pattern Dance 3? If you need it in the north, why did you bring it down to the east? Simple, common question that they cannot answer. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and direct from the Holy Land of Israel, broadcasting into the Holy Land of Biafra and to all the ends of this very earth. They know that very, very well. Next time, some people will say, oh, why should IPOB be happy that Boko Haram killed Nigerian soldiers? I said, but do you listen to yourselves anytime IPOB family members are slaughtered? You see Yoruba journalists enjoying it. They write about it glowingly. Glowingly. Alleged killing of IPOB family members. Alleged. It's always alleged. But now that soldiers have been killed, it is soldiers killed. The heart of a black man is evil. I'm a black man, yes. I pray to Chukwugika Biama to give me grace every blessed day and to pray for IPOB 7 times every blessed day. So that we will not be as evil and as wicked as Nigeria. I assure you, they're evil. This attack was mostly against Biafrans serving in the Nigerian army. It was ordered by the presidency. Say, I told you so. This is an arrangee attack. Arrangement. So you will not talk about Jubril. Very simple. No warning signs came. Nigeria army, they have drones. They could have warned of the impending attack. How come you only packed Igbo people in one place? and ask your friends in Boko Haram to attack. They know what they're doing. There was no support. When they came to kill me, they brought air support with them. But they left Igbo soldiers serving in the Nigerian army in the north without any air cover, no air cover. But when they came to Isiama Faruku Ibegu, they came with everything. Air Force jets, helicopter, and armored personnel carriers. They brought everything with them. If your child is working or serving the Nigerian army and you're a Biafran, by which I mean you're a Jo, Igbo, Efik, Ibibio, Anang, Oron, you come from Igede, from Idoma, from Ekala, you come from Ishekiri, from Ugobo, from Isoko. If you want to see your child alive, withdraw them from the Nigerian army, because they are wasting them away. I can assure you, they are dying for nothing. Al-Qaeda in Nigeria was founded by al-Banawi with the help of Buhari himself direct. I saw their pictures when they brought them to court. I was in prison. Somebody came and said, this is the picture of Yusuf's son in court. You saw, he was relaxing with a smirk on his face. They released them. And today they are killing the same soldiers in the same country. You know what they did? They left Biafran soldiers in the north to be killed and brought Janjaweed, Alamajiri, to the east to be killing us. You see their plan? Some of you don't know, but we know. We know everything, and it must change. It must change. Mohammed Yusuf in his defense is in the grave today, but I must defend him. The founder of Boko Haram was an innocent man. Nigeria government killed him, and his followers became angry and turned against the Nigerian state. As simple as that. Buhari himself was the one that ordered the release of Abanawi from detention as part of Boko Haram amnesty. Every time Boko Haram amnesty, they've done another one today. They've done another one today. Some of you may have forgotten. I want this picture posted everywhere. I don't mind if, are you tired? I don't mind if I do this program 4 hours tonight or 5 hours. I must preach the truth. Chukwokikabiam is my witness, not mortal flesh. No blemish, none whatsoever. There was a picture that was raised, if you remember, in Aso Rock. The dead Buhari and Buratai, they raised a banner with Islamic inscription. Most of you don't know what it meant at the time. But I'm telling you today. There was, in fact, ask Buratai to explain the reason why they are celebrating a jihadi flag with Arabic inscription on it. Your own Buratai that never saw any active theater of war. Buratai, the chief of army staff, he did not attend any ECOMOG. He did not command anybody. Even ordinary peacekeeping, he did not go. You remember ECOMOG? Remember ECOMOG? Remember the fight when Obasanjo tried to recover Bakassi and Cameroonian soldiers dealt with them. And they were bringing their dead bodies back. No Awasa Fulani commissioned officer agreed to be deployed. If you know anybody in the army, ask them tonight. This is an assignment for Yoruba newspapers and the proprietors. If you know anybody in the army, ask them. The entire ECOMOG, that was Liberia, debacle. Did any Awasa Fulani commander serve at the war front? The answer is no. They will stay in their desks in Awasa land, in Bauchi, in Kaduna, in Zaria, and they get promoted to Major, Lieutenant General, Major General, and Brigadier. Goodness knows what else. Ask Buratai tonight. Please, can you tell us where you have commanded soldiers in battle? Oh, of course he will tell you that he commanded them in Aba when they killed IPOB protesters. That's what made him a general. You know the meaning of a general in the army? Some of you don't know. You saw what Oyibo was doing and you copied it. Hook, line, and sinker. You swallowed them, you copied everything. Oh, because the British, it sounds very nice, general. So let me name this in a general. Ask Buratai, have you led men into battle before? If so, where? And they will tell you he knows nothing about fighting. But he's the chief of army staff, walking about everywhere with a sense of arrogance and swagger. And they are destroying his soldiers. Did they not say that all the service ships should deploy to Maiduguri? Is that what they said? Where are they today in Abuja? Having fun. If it's IPOB, more they will run to them, they will plan strategic command. You'll be wondering what is going on. They deploy tanks and troops against people marching and evangelizing about Biafra. The same thing that people do all over the world. All over the world. Our own case is different. We must bring you the truth. Nigerian army wanted to kill me, an innocent man. The only weapon I have is my microphone in front of me. They came with all these sophisticated weapons to eliminate me and my family, to kill my father and my mother, to kill my men, to kill my cousin, and to kill Jack, my dog. But when it comes to Boko Haram, they do nothing, because Boko Haram have the same things that they have as well. They have guns and bullets, so does the Zoo army. And they cannot defeat Boko Haram. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever, and they know it. I told them that Nigeria will be like Somalia or worse, and it is happening. Nothing can stop Boko Haram. Nothing. If they think that the Americans can save them, they must know. Americans did not save Afghanistan. Afghanistan is still falling back to the hands of the Taliban. Till tomorrow, go and check it. You're dealing with a people that do not understand anything else apart from war and destruction. That is why Biafra cannot be a part of Nigeria. Before we are swallowed up in their mess. We are not terrorists and can never be. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. When I speak, they say I insult them. Have you noticed how Yoruba newspapers, or Yoruba papers, have you noticed how they are chasing around? I don't know who the Nnamdi is. And I don't want to know. But I know she's a Biafran. I defended her before. I defended Ibori for good reason. And I will keep on defending them. And I will tell you why. How many people from Fulani have you heard before appear before EFCC? Or go to court? Or be remanded in custody? Name one Fulani man. Name one. And they are the greatest looters. They are the greatest criminals you have in that zoo called Nigeria. But because a Yoruba person is writing, oh, Desian stole $4.8 trillion, I will accept. But the same Yoruba newspaper will not tell you how much Bola Ahmed Tinubu stole. No. They will not tell you how Abiola made his money. Abiola was a thief. Onyoshikobo. Fela sang a song, International Thief Thief ITT. He forged a check. Everybody knows that. No, they will not tell you how they made their money. Acting lawyers of this world. No, they won't tell you. But you're telling me I should keep quiet. As a newspaper owned by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nation newspaper, will castigate a Biafran lady, and I will keep quiet because I attend a church pastored by Yoruba overseer. Mad people. Mad people. You are afraid of what your Yoruba general overseer will say, and they are castigating your sister, castigating your mother. They say and you keep quiet. Why can't Nation newspaper tell all of us how Bola Ahmed Tinubu made his money? Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a thief, a rogue, certified criminal. I hate double standards. They are chasing Ojos Okalo. But all of you saw a video. They are chasing Ojos Okalo, saying you cannot come back. That one out of his ignorance is defending them. They are holding him. You know, once they tie that bedsheet on your head, you're gone. You're finished. Take a bandage, Nisi. Because you won't accident. We must continue. They are chasing all Joseph Carlo, telling him, you must attend trial. They are disturbing Olisametu, saying to Olisametu, you can faint all you like, you cannot go abroad for treatment. But all of you saw the governor of Kanu State. Did you see him? Ganduje, sharing dollars. Huh? Do you know that Jubril stood up, that was last week, to extol his virtues, telling you how good Kanu State governor is? A criminal caught red-handed, accepting $5 million bribe in cash. Some of you have forgotten about Ibrahim Lamode. He was EFCC chairman. The amount of money that Lamode stole, Abia State cannot make it in the next 38 years. The allocation of Abia State in the next 38 years was stolen by only one man, Ibrahim Lamode. And he was one of the sponsors of the dead Buhari, not this Jubril, his campaign for election. A Fulani man stole money from EFCC. They brought another one go to replace him. Not confirmed by Senate, which is against the law. Not being confirmed by the Senate means you cannot hold that position. But they are Fulani. They are in army. They control Navy. They control Air Force. They control police. They control customs. They control everything. So who are you to talk? I hope it's becoming clearer now. Nobody steals more than the Fulani. They are the hardened looters. But Yoruba papers will not write about them because Yoruba papers are cowards. They don't want to anger them. Now you see how it works. Ask Yoruba newspapers. Why is it that you don't want to ask the family of... Let me start from the family of Buhari. Not even Abacha. Why is it that Aisha Buhari cannot travel to the U.S.? Is it not because of the Halliburton bribery scandal? Yes or no? Yes or no? Who brought her into oil business? Was it not Buhari when he was with his contacts in petroleum and in PTF? All his contacts. How do you think Buhari, the dead one, knew Archbishop Welby? Do you think they are friends? Do you think they used to go to polo field in Kaduna to play polo? You're mad if you think so. Because Archbishop Welby used to be a front for oil companies around the world. He was a front man. He did business with Buhari. Yoruba papers will not ask Buhari about the suitcases. Have you forgotten the suitcases from Saudi Arabia? Have you forgotten? You were too young then. Buhari is a thief. Confirmed criminal. I think it was Tell magazine that did an expose on him about PTF and how he stole all the money from PTF. Yoruba will not say anything because Bola Ahmed Tinubu controls the media around Lagos about the expressway. Gota press. Buhari must be seen as a saint. A child rapist must be seen as a saint. I told you I'm older than Aisha. Did I not tell you that before? Buhari was a rapist. A child molester and a rapist. Raped a 9-year-old girl. That's one of the charges I'm answering. That I called him a pedophile. Because I know he's a pedophile. I know he's a pedophile. We must continue. Remember the grass cutting contract of Baba Chela Lawal? Have you forgotten that? Have you forgotten Minor? Remember the Minor person that came back and they did the deal and he ran back again? No Yoruba paper will write it. But if it is Alison Madweke or Lisa Mitu or Jesus Carlo, every day they're making noise. Every blessed day. Some of you, like Hanez in the ocean and the mad people, they will be there chasing 2.1 million naira contract. When this useless, filthy, corrupt regime of APC is going about selling the myth to the world that only Southerners are corrupt. So, that's what they're doing. Ibeto was locked up, nobody complained. Only Southerners are corrupt. Fayose was locked up, nobody complained. Only Southerners are corrupt. But all those corrupt Fulani men, how come nobody's touching them? Because Yoruba papers will not write about it. Premium Times will not write about it. And all of you are jumping up and clapping one Nigeria. We must continue. This is Radio Biafra. This night we must preach this very gospel. Wherever you are on the face of this very planet, you must listen to us, because Chukwokika Biama decreed that we must preach it. Jubril is in Asorok. The reason why Jubril is still there till tomorrow, because we have not come to Jubril. Jubril is there. And slowly, I will give you, we are all going to turn into detectives, all of us. I want everybody listening now, you're going to turn into a simple detective. So, not okay. Some of us sometimes, when you're under the influence of malaria, when a cockroach runs from underneath your bed, maybe towards the basket at the corner, you think is a rat. Because you're now seeing double. Oh, okay. I'm now going to teach everybody tonight how to identify an impostor. It is very, very simple. And after saying it tonight, I can assure you that they will not parade Jubril for the next 1 week. They'll be thinking, what do we do? I can assure you. The zoo must fall. I've told you that many times. It is going to collapse. Under the weight of this fraud and deception of Jubril, the zoo must fall. That Jubril is still there today, not to Subajo, is because of Yoruba cowardly media. Spineless cowards, the media is. I'm not talking about the likes of Fajui that died beside, maybe Ekiti State. They're the ones producing all these heroes in Yoruba land. And I'm sure when we were migrating down from Egypt, our ancestors must have stopped in Yoruba land and gave birth to some people. Like Faji and Fayoshe and Fani Kayode. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you. And Paya Adebanjo, men who can speak the truth. They stand on the truth always. It doesn't matter. That's not the truth. Faji died beside Ironsi. A brave man. Man of honor. Yoruba man. So there are many of them I respect. But you see, they are journalists. God forbid bad thing. We must continue. Yoruba did not want Osibajo to climb into Asorok because of fear of Biafra. Some of you don't know this. Yoruba don't want to publish the truth they know about Jubril, because some of them phoned some of my friends and were saying, oh, that thing your brother is saying is true. But they can't publish it. Do you know why? They are afraid that if it becomes an international incident, that the zoo sent a fake to go and see Trump, then Nigeria will collapse and Biafra will come. Because of the fear that Yoruba journalists have towards Biafra, it is better for them that any cockroach can be in Asorok. It doesn't bother them. Until next year, they vote in whoever they think might save them. Now you understand what I'm saying. Channels Television. They have now taken over from where Femi Adesina stopped. Channels TV is now part and parcel of news fabrication in the zoo. That one that used to move prostitutes before from Benin to Europe. Loretta Anochia, is that her name? I don't even know her name. That one was a trafficker of sex slaves into Europe. But today she's in Asorok with a smartphone, possibly an iPad, writing rubbish on Twitter about people that she is not capable of cleaning their kitchen. That tells you the quality and the caliber of people serving in this APC regime. Ask Loretta Onochie, what was your job before they gave you one smartphone and one iPad inside Asorok? What's your job? Were you not moving girls from Edo State to Europe? She will spend 4 weeks constructing one single tweet message. People will help her to construct it. Mr. Green, an American who runs their social media team, will give her, she will write that the man there is Buhari. It's not Jibril. But tonight I'm going to let them to waste. I let them to waste. All of you will know, even those working inside Asarok, all of you in APC, in PDP, covering up this mess, tonight I will expose all of you. You must speak the truth, and that truth shall set you free. That Buhari is dead. The man there is a fake Jubril, and I will tell you how even a child, this night is going to know. A baby that you're nursing will know tonight that the president of Nigeria is fake. It's from Sudan. There was another intel. Oh, IPOB intelligence. My goodness me. There is something about those people I wonder. When we stand as an independent nation, believe you me, Mossad will come to learn 1 or 2 things from us as well. I assure you. I assure you. If you know what IPOB intelligence discovered today, you'll be shocked. But we're still investigating that very matter. And when I release it, it will be in fact, no, I don't think anything will surpass what we're going to do tonight. Hopefully next weekend and then the DNA result. We must continue. Channels Television is now part of the fabrication in the zoo. Do you know what Channels Television did? They wrote and said that Buhari facilitates with Jonathan. They went and used an old picture of the dead Buhari and Kofi Annan, you know, when they were coming to sign peace deal that anybody who loses the election will concede, to write this very news, giving you the impression that Jubril actually visited Jonathan. Do you see how they work? And I want IPOB media to dwell on this very fact, to spend time uncovering the lies of Yoruba media. I know some of you it will be difficult because your general overseer tomorrow is a Yoruba man. And honestly speaking, before heaven and earth, I feel sorry for you. Some Yoruba pastors are good people. I know them, some of them are my friends. Very good people. But some are horrible. The same way you have, even in Igbo land, there are very horrible preachers there too. We know them. It's everywhere. In every place, in every society, you have good people and you have bad people. But I'm saying that the entire Yoruba media is bad. All of them, they are all bad, all of them. Bar none. Channels Television is supporting APC regime because they don't want Biafra to come. You need to understand this. The reason why they don't want Biafra to come is because when Biafra goes, you know, half of Yoruba is Muslim already. Fulani will just come and take them. Do you know that no Yoruba man can hold or conduct any Jumaat prayers in the north when there is a little Fulani boy, Hausa boy there? Do you know that? You know, you go to mosque and you have somebody conduct prayers. In the north, a Yoruba Muslim cannot conduct Jumaat, you know, the Friday prayers. If there is a little 9-year-old that can recite the Quran, he cannot do it. They don't even see them as original Muslims. But we shall get to that later. And some other. You know, now you know why they want to kill me. Because I speak the truth. Heaven bears me witness all the time. Channels Television is part and parcel of the fraud going on in the zoo. I don't care if you publish us or not because eventually you will. I don't care. The whole world is listening to Radio Biafra tonight. I said all over the world. How many people watch them? Criminals they are. President Buhari greets Jonathan at 61. That was the headline. Go and look at it with the dead Buhari laughing, and so also is Jonathan. And at the background, they tried to cover the face of Kofi Annan somehow, but it didn't quite work. And IPOB, you know, trust IPOB media team now. They jumped on them, asking them, how come you're using this old picture? How could Channels TV conjure up 2 dead people? Felicitating with Jonathan. The The photos of Buhari greeting Jonathan was made their front page, the headline news. How can people with conscience do this? Do you see how far they can go to make sure that Biafra doesn't come? Some of you think that it's only a Wasaflan that is against Biafra. No. A sizable number of Yoruba people are afraid because half of Yoruba is Muslim, half is Christian. If we allow Yoruba to join Muslim North, that is Hausa Fulani North, in Nigeria, they will have squashed them into the ground within a matter of weeks. They'll be finished. So they need us. But they need them to come out and say, oh, please, we need you. Don't go. We need you in Nigeria so we can survive. Instead, they're going through the very negative way of trying to run down IPOB and Biafra. And by shoring up this man, this ghost in Asorok. More confirmation that Buhari is dead. And the media, they know this very, very well. Not only channels, another Yoruba. Hey, another Yoruba publication. Sahara Reporters. You know what they said? Buhari campaigns for himself at Jonathan book launch. That was the headline. What it means is that Buhari attended Jonathan's book launch, isn't it? But did Buhari go there? There was no Buhari because Buhari is dead. Jubril couldn't go because Jubril knows that now Radio Biafra is saying all these things about Jubril. If he goes there, you know, Obasanjo is a wily old fox. He will know. Obasanjo will say to him, no be you be Buhari, why no? You know Obasanjo very well, he will say it. And he avoided everybody. And I think today, Abdulsalam Abubakar said something about Jubril avoiding the public limelight. The truth is that everybody knows that Buhari, Jubril did not attend Jonathan's 61st birthday. Do you know that? Everybody knows. But Sahara Reporters wrote that Buhari was there. And this is the idiot planning to run for the presidency. A thief, a liar, planning to run to become the president of a country. He's a liar. They have given him money. He will pocket the money. He will come out and talking about Nigeria is bad. That's what I hate about some of you Nigerians. You are hypocrites. You go behind the back and you cut a deal with the government. You come and say, oh, things are bad, not knowing that you are part of the problem. Shawara is part of the problem. The outfit it runs, Sahara Reporters, stinks. They lie and they fabricate news. If you pay them, they publish for you. We must continue. They knew Buhari was not there, but they took the picture of Buhari when he was alive in 2015 during his inauguration, when he was sitting with Jonathan, to confuse the already confused and gullible Nigerians. All the media reports about the people who were present in Jonathan's book launch were accurate. They showed the picture of the events. Oshomole was there, Saraki was there, Akpabio was there, everybody was there. The same thing they did in Paris. Have you forgotten? Remember Paris? And Femi Adesina. Femi Adesina lied that Jubril went to Paris when he didn't go to anywhere. The same way that Sahara Reporters was lying to all of you. Because your general overseer is Yoruba, you won't talk. Before your daddy GO will send you to the back seat. My goodness. Maybe the camera that took the pictures of hundreds of people at the event could not capture Buhari or film him. The same thing that happened in Paris. Nobody could see him. Nobody. Nobody at all. Unbelievable. Next level, the only way Buhari campaigns for himself at Jonathan's book launch, Sahara Reporters. Some of you will flock there to go and read rubbish. If you want to know how useless black people are, look at the websites they get their news from. Once you tell them the truth, they run away. They say you're insulting them. If you're a good person, why would I need to speak ill of you? Why? Have I spoken ill of Mbasilika Amechi before? Why would I speak ill of you or Maria Opo, Chief Mrs. Mario? Have I spoken ill of her before? There are good people all over the place. I won't speak ill of you. But once you go to Abuja and begin to run around to sell our people so that your son or your grandson can be minister, then thunder will fire you. In as much as I'm concerned, be rest assured. They should stop lying. They lied again. The same channel television. They lied. You know what they did? They came up with their own fraudulent tactics. You know, there was a headline saying, Buhari congratulates Super Eagles on Nations Cup qualification. Some people didn't see it. And that was immediately after South Africa and the zoo. Nigeria played a 1-1 draw in South Africa. They showed us a picture to give us the impression that Buhari was watching the match live. Understand this very well. Maybe that is why people don't follow what we are doing. Maybe in Africa, in our schools, we are not taught to reason very well, to think outside the box, maybe. On the picture showing at the TV screen being watched by Buhari, according to Channel's television picture, was an old match. An old match. The jersey they were wearing was markedly different from the jersey that people were watching on the television. This is how they lie. That is Channels to another Yoruba media. And now you wonder why. Do you think if it was an Igbo man that was doing the job of Femi Adesina that I would let him be? Imagine if it was an Igbo man lying to defend a dead Buhari. Imagine what Yoruba media would do to that very person. They will shred you. But ask yourself this question. How come is it that Yoruba media knew that Jubril Buhari, according to some of them, did not. They know Buhari did not go to Paris, but nobody held Femi Adesina responsible. Because Femi Adesina is a Yoruba man. Do you think they're Igbo people? Do you think Yoruba media, they are full of Igbo people? No, they defend their own. The same thing that Fulani do in the north. If it was an Igbo man, they would have eaten him raw by now. It was Yoruba media that removed General Hejirika. Some of you don't know this, but I know. They kept writing. They kept writing. They kept writing. Until Jonathan ill-advisedly capitulated and sacked Hejirika. And from that day onwards, Boko Haram assumed total control. Total control. And they know it. After all the lies of Femi Adesina about Jubril going to Paris, you can never go to any Nigerian media. Just ask Femi Adesina a simple question. Presidency, show us the video of Buhari in Paris. There was no Buhari in Paris. And they will never ask. Because the man doing the job there is a Yoruba man. And if you pursue Jubril now to go, Biafra, these Biafra people, they will rise up and Nigeria will divide. And we don't want it. We need oil money. We need gas money. We need Igbo people in Lagos doing business for us. We need Igbo people in Kanu, Kaduna, selling cash papers for us. So we need them in Nigeria. That is why you are in one Nigeria and you don't even know it. You think they love you? Do you seriously think they love you? You think some Yoruba people, they love you? Is that what you think? Or Hausa Fulani, you think they love you? You must be demented if you think so. Because they never did. If they loved you, they wouldn't have... They started killing us since 1945. Don't you know that? 1945, the slaughter started. It's continuing till this very day. And you think they love you. They send your children to be slaughtered by Boko Haram. Leave them ill-equipped. Send all the armaments, all the armor tankers down to the east to kill unarmed protesters. But in the north, they put Igbo people in command and send Boko Haram to go and kill them. So they can blackmail Trump into giving them helicopter gunships. You don't know that? Nigerians are follow people. They follow you. They keep following you. They follow lies. Lies upon lies every blessed day, churned out by Yoruba media. Why do you think a lot of you, Biafrans, why do you think you go to Yoruba churches? They use their media preponderance to wash your brain clean, to let you know that a Yoruba pastor is where there is redemption. That's where you go to all these churches. You don't know that? That is why you go to all those churches. They sell their own. And some of you don't know that most of these Yoruba pastors, they were once Muslim. They were born into Muslim homes. You don't know this, but I know. Imagine a Muslim convert to Christianity telling one Chineke who is circumcised on the 8th day after he was born about God. What an insult, what a shame. We must continue. Nigerians heard the truth and must tell it. If they can provide a video of Jubril in Paris, perhaps they may have a case, but there is none because Jubril wasn't there. If what I'm saying is a lie, don't you think that the cabal would have used that human trafficker, Loretta Onochie? I'm telling you what she used to do. She would go to Edo State and move prostitutes, unemployed women to Europe. That's her job, to supply the brothels in Europe before they bought her a smartphone and an iPad. The zoo media can never ask Jubril to remove his cap. Never. Nor ask him to speak his language. Remember when we said that there was a rumor at some point that Obasanjo was dead? Do you remember? What did Obasanjo do? He came out and said, I did Kampe. He came out and said, I did Kampe. Is that not what he said? Jubril cannot do it because he is not Buhari. Everybody knows that Channels Television and the rest of them are lying. Nigerians are not sincere people. Because if they were sincere to one another, all the lies going on will not be happening. They would have asked Okorocha and all the rest of them, tell us what you're threatening APC about. But tonight, let me introduce a very simple piece of evidence. Mrs. Amakekwe will try and help me because I want her, first of all, to publish the diagram of an ear and the parts of an ear. Let me tell you, let me lay the foundation for this, or the groundwork, so to speak. There are a few physical features within a man or a human body that you cannot change, that is unique to everybody and very easy to measure. One is your fingerprint. The other one is your ear, the outer ear. No two outer ears are the same. Before we proceed on this phase of a masking of Jubril, go to your children, even if they're twins. Bring them to stand side by side with their ear facing you. Check to see if the design of their outer ear is the same. If it's the same, it is not. It can never be. It's like the fingerprint. No two fingerprints are the same way that no two designs of the ear is the same. Do you see how we are going to catch Jubril tonight? Very simple, isn't it? I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe tomorrow they'll mold a new ear for him. But the old pictures they took is there. This is an assignment I have to give to all of you. I want you to go and look at all of old Buhari's pictures because the real one died in 2017. So all Buhari's pictures from 2015 to 2016, even 2014. Look at his ears very well. Draw it closer. Look at his ears. I asked Mrs. Amakeko to post all this on my page. IPOB admin can go there to pick it up. First of all, I want you to publish the biological diagram of an ear and the various parts we are going to be looking at tonight in the unmasking of Jubril. So you will understand what we are doing here. I said, piece by piece, I will destroy the zoo. Line by line, I will destroy them. I don't know if any of you have seen it. Have you seen it? Have you seen the ear that we're talking about? The diagram of the ear. Go to Nnamdi Kanu. Being managed by Amakekwe, it is there. I want it to it's a diagram. Not just Jubril's ear. The diagram first, so you understand what we're looking for. I want to assure each and every one of you that by the time you look at the ear of the dead Buhari and look at the ear of anybody they bring and say he's Buhari, you will see that it can never, ever be the same. It is not the same. From tonight, we are beginning to lay the definitive foundation of the unmasking of Jubril. Because no 2 years are the same. Do you think 2 years are the same? Like fingerprints. Like snow. Remember, snow has been falling since we knew what snow was. But no 2 snowflakes are the same. Do you know that? Since snow started falling on this earth, every snowflake, which is ice forming around the dust, is different from the other since the beginning of time till today. No 2 snowflakes are the same. Do you see why I believe in Chukwukika-Abiyama? In the mystery of creation. I must take a bit of water, if you excuse me. You know, I've been off for about 4 years. Before, I used to go without drinking any water. We must proceed. We have to proceed because it is the truth that we're preaching. Has this very picture been publicized everywhere? Can people see it now? Can people see this very picture? It is called the structure of the ear. You can go to Google and Google it. The structure of the ear. Because without this, you cannot follow what we're saying. And I even want Yoruba journalists. You know, they are, maybe before tomorrow they can change it. They are liars. But they cannot lie their way through this one. We are beginning to remove the face of Jubril tonight. We must proceed. The cabal must know that we are Biafrans. The most intelligent race in Africa. The most intelligent. They know that if you leave Biafra to be on our... They know if they leave Biafra on our own, within 2 years, they'll be begging us for visa to come and visit us. I am blessed by Chukwukika-Abiyama. They know it. The whole world knows if we allow Biafra to go, Africa will become developed. They know it very well. So I make no apologies when I say this. If you're doubting me, then try me and see. The cabal must know that we are very, very intelligent. IPOB intelligence M branch is the best in the world. I said there is something we are discovering. You know that man they said they killed in Sudan, the diplomat. You get as you be. You get as you be. But we'll get there eventually. We are going to tell you something that will shock each and every one of you. To shock you. And I'm telling them tonight, we are going to find out where he's buried. Let me tell the zoo so they know. The man you claim died, somebody killed him in Khartoum in Sudan. That I wrote a heartfelt condolence for. May not be dead after all. He is the one they are working on extensively. We need to confirm this. We are looking to extract his DNA from his grave. Then went and removed everything about him from Google. Do you know that? The zoo bought every information from Google and removed him from Google. Nothing, can't find him. But we are following them. We want to tell them that we are more intelligent than they are and will ever be. Some of you are asking me to publish the DNA results. And I keep wondering, if you cannot tell the difference between Buhari that you used to know, if you cannot tell the difference between the Buhari you used to know and that thing that took Aisha out, you know, they went out. That thing that took Aisha out during APC book launch. Isn't it very funny that Aisha is a woman of faith, Islam for that matter, and now they are supplying her with many men to be pretending is her husband. How sad! How sad! Even that one called her Mrs. Buhari. Have you seen the video? Mrs. Buhari. Jibril called her Mrs. Buhari. And people are pretending they are blind. Oh, it cannot be. In this day and age, in this world, how can it be? It is our president. It is, after all. That shows how daft they are. Is the ear up and running everywhere? On social media. So we can proceed. I want everybody to follow this. The ear, have you found it? The structure of the ear. You will find out that the ear has... Absolutely, it is everywhere. Put it everywhere, please. Put it on Radio Biafra page so that the world can follow. It is very, very simple. I want to prove to you tonight there are two things you can find in any old Buhari ear that you cannot find in any of the Jubrils. It is called the antihelix. It's called. You know the line, the ridge that runs inside your ear. Antihelix is inside. That runs inside your ear. In some people it is pronounced, in others it is not. And also what is called the lobule. You know the small thing here, the lobule, where women pierce to put on earring, the lobule. I want you, people should do this on their own. Anybody they have given to you since 2017, late from July 2017, check the ear structure. Check the outer ear and see if it is the same as that of the old Buhari. Concentrate on the antihelix, that line that runs inside, and look at the lobule. Buhari's left lobule was damaged as a result of trauma. There was one they brought, Jubril they brought. And I want, as I'm speaking, for the pictures to be posted now. You can see the ear of the real Buhari when he went to see Prime Minister Cameron and the anti-corruption summit. You know where he said that Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. That was where the picture was taken. Have you seen, I'm asking those in the studio, have you seen this picture before? That is the picture that we're talking about, and Amake will be posting it on my page, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. To be there by now, if she's following this program. If you look at Buhari's left ear, you can see the trauma that he suffered, that his left lobule is missing, damaged, cut, however way you want to look at it. It is there before everybody. Nte Buhari, the left one, Nkakebe, his left ear, damaged. The lobule is damaged. It is clear for all to see. And I now want you to look at, please, what I want posted is the picture of Jubril when he went to see Trump. I'm saying this tonight because I'm saying it, CIA is working on it now, not tomorrow, now. And people have said to me that I'm trying to get Trump angry, and I said, yes, that's what I want to do. I want to prove to President Trump that the lifeless thing they brought to him, of course he knew, is Jubril and not Buhari. There is a close-up of this man with Trump, and I want it posted immediately. You will see that the lobule of this man has been glued with Aradite to make it look like Buhari's own. Of course, you can see it here. You can see there is no sign of any damage, no cut whatsoever. Look at Buhari's own. You will see the difference. And also look at the inside. I told you. No two people are the same on this earth. Look at the inside ear. That ridge on the inside ear. Check that of Buhari. It is not the same. So when they were doing their plastic surgery and molding their mask and all the rest of it, which some Biafrans have posted how easy it is. Even that actress from Nollywood showed us how easy you can fabricate Buhari. Isn't it very clear now? So who is now going to turn around and tell me that these two people are the same? I said, go and look at any old picture you have before they remove it. Because from tomorrow, Nigeria will start paying very heavy money to all the picture libraries in the world to ask them to withdraw Buhari's old pictures and replace it with new ones. But unfortunately for them, we have it already. We have it already. You can see very clearly that although they can tamper with the face and use makeup to create a Buhari out of a Jubril, there is nothing you can do about the ear. But there is something they are doing. There is something they are doing right now. They have used Buhari's DNA to try and grow the ear of a human being on a laboratory mouse. Are you aware of that? And I also want that very picture to be published. That is what they are doing now. It can be grown genetically. And once they finish it, they will cut out the ear from the back of the mice and they will place it on whichever guinea pig they can find to answer Buhari. I hope you're following. That is where they are working on now very seriously. But it is too little and too late because I'm now announcing it to the whole world. Look at Buhari's ear. And look at Jubril's ear. And you will know that they are not the same. Buhari's ear formation is different from that of Jubril, and it is very clear for all to see. If you look at the old Buhari's ear, you will see it. It is very, very clear. Look at the line, the second line running on the inside, you will see it. Very straight. That line there is very, very, can you see it? There is no cut. There is absolutely no cut. Look at the inside line. There is no cut. But look at the one on Jubril. You will see the difference. As simple as that. That is a very simple assignment that I'm asking or inviting Yoruba media to do tonight. So they will know. So they will know, that the world may know that I speak the truth on this very platform. That Buhari is dead. They cannot change the ear between now and tomorrow. No amount of cosmetics can change it. They can go tonight and begin to put a filler. You know those that do makeup. I thought filler was for only cars before, to repair cars. But now they say women have filler to fill their faces. Maybe they can use filler to fill the ear. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow they might do that. But I want you to go and see all the old, pictures don't lie. Forget about all the photoshopping being done by Femi Adesina. These ones are clear for the whole world to see that Buhari is no more. The person there now doesn't have Buhari's ear. He cannot speak indigenous Fulani language, Fufude. He also is not bald. Maybe they're now working on him to become bald. And I also want a picture of the old dead Buhari to be posted where he was in a suit campaigning as a reformed Democrat. So it is nothing new for Jubril to wear a suit. It is absolute. There's nothing new about it. And they must do it. Because they know that Buhari is dead and Jubril is dead. That is why they're doing what they're doing. We are freedom fighters. We love justice and equity. And it is my responsibility and duty as the leader of IPOB to ensure that the truth is told. And that is exactly what we are doing. This evil agenda of Jubril was premised on the desire of the North to hold on to power at all costs. And they know it. Atiku knows. Everybody knows. They want to hold on to power at all costs. Because even if Atiku goes in there, he'll be there for 8 years. For 8 years. But they said there is a rotational presidency. If the North takes it for 8 years, the South take it for 8 years. Is that what they said? But should Atiku determine that he wants to run for a second term, assuming, I'm only assuming, that he manages to overcome INEC and security forces to be declared the winner next year. For those who are voting or not us, not Biafrans. He'll be there for 8 years. So that means the North would have ruled for 12 years, not the agreed 8. Do you see why making deals in Nigeria never works? Do you see why Priti Patel said that no businessman should come to Nigeria from England, from Britain? Because they are bad. They never obey the law. They don't know what law is. What has Sharia got to do with common law? People who were born under Sharia, and you're asking them to practice common law, you're wasting your time. Few days past, our crack team of IPOB journalists, I'm sure family writers have been doing a lot of work lately. Do you know that they went to Katsina State, the Emirate of Katsina, they call it. Katsina used to be a Hausa, should I say city or let me say state before the Fulani came. Now it's an emirate. The Habe monarchies no longer exist. If you have noticed recently, I no longer mention Hausa. Because Hausa people no longer exist. They only have their language and that's all. They no longer exist. Fulani have swallowed them up completely and totally. They no longer exist. They went to Katsina to go and do it and to ask the people. You know, IPOB, we do investigative journalism. Not like those Yoruba brown envelope people in Lagos and Ibadan writing rubbish. If you give them a phone call and some money, anything you want, they write for you. They traveled to an area they call Southern Kaduna, where indigenous Hausa natives are, to look at their relationship between the Hausa people and the Caliphates. That's how we are in IPOB. We just don't say things, we investigate. They wanted to determine the factors that, gave rise to the emergence of Jubril Aminu al-Sudani, to criminally deceive the world. This is an investigation done by family writers of IPOB. How come they accepted Jubril as Buhari when they know the truth? They went to the city of Katsina and they spoke Hausa language because we are multilingual. Why is there a Sudanese impostor in Asarok? Some of them said it is the real Buhari, but that his mannerisms now differ from right hand to left hand. One of them is now writing with left hand. They said it's because of illness. He's been ill and sick. There is a saying where we come from. Do you know what the saying is? Anka. You cannot be writing with your right hand and all of a sudden you're now writing with your left. When you're 80-something years old, because Buhari's younger sister is 82 years old. Yoruba media know this, but they don't want to write it. They said he's 75. Is he 75? Every year he's 75. Every year he is 75. They are liars and cheats, all of them. We must continue. They said Buhari's illness must have impaired him. This is the only illness in the world where you go through and you come out looking a lot younger than you were. They investigated the people around there who claim to be Hausas based in Katsina and the Kanu'S from Southern Kaduna. They spoke to one Malam Tanko, Maikasuwa, who is a trader, and he revealed to them that there was, or there is, still till this day, a long-standing relationship between the Fulani-controlled Nigerian government and the people of Sudan. Do you know that Buhari, when he was alive, preferred those in Niger more than you in the east? Are they not building a railway to connect Niger to the north? Are they not also trying to give them oil? In case you have forgotten, Buhari actually prefers people in Niger more than you and I. That's when he was alive. His hatred for anything Biafra is now legendary. We all know that. There has been a relationship between Sudanese people and Nigerian northerners. He revealed how a certain fellow named Bashir Toko from Omdurman in Sudan, understand this very, we want to establish the relationship between the north and the Sudanese. There was a man called Bashir Toko from Omdurman in Sudan. He came to the rescue of Hausa people of the then ancient city of Katsina and its environs. They said, no wonder they named their invasion of our land Operation Python Dance. In the olden days, they said there was a python, a legend has it that there was a python swallowing people in Katsina. A python was swallowing people in Katsina. That's why Buratai named the conquest of our land Operation Python Dance. And it is now that it's beginning to make every sense to us. His reference to Python was some kind of, how can I put it, a very off-handed way of making reference to the fact that somebody from Sudan is in Asarok coming to save them again. And we are the Pythons. We are the Pythons, so he has to come and kill us with Operation Python Dance. Whereas in Hausa folklore, there was a Sudanese that came to help Hausa people, to help them, exorcise them of this very spirit of a python swallowing people randomly. He said that following the intervention of this Sudanese man, he's a magician, Bashir Tucker, maybe the same way that Jibril is. The ancient leaders of Hausa kingdoms gave them a portion of Gombe land, which is present-day Sokoto, as a compensation. They renamed it Sokoto afterwards, when the Nomads invaded the place and overran it and settled there. Those are the Fulani people. So these people, he said, are his brethren, that they came in as protectors to the indigenous Hausa natives against future occurrences. Therefore, when this Bashir Tucker returned to the Sahara Desert, he gathered his people massively, his nomadic brothers massively, and they came down to sojourn in Hausa land. They gave them free grazing land, and they transacted with them. According to this very Malam, my Kasuwa, there was a magic knife that this Bashir Tucker used to kill the magic python. And that if you go to the palace of the Emir of Katsina today, you will see this very sword in the palace of the Emir of Katsina as a symbol of authority. They said it acted as a talisman for their conquest during the pre-colonial years of jihad against the indigenous Hausa people. He also stated that it was Bashir Tucker that eventually brought Ottoman Danfodio from the Sahel region of the Sahara, that later carried out these gruesome jihad wars against the Hausa kingdoms. As you know, the Fulanis conquered all Hausa people with the help of Hausa people, and they eradicated their culture and supplanted them everywhere. It was only the Kanu'S in Borno that said no. The Kanu'S said no, and they are resisting till tomorrow morning. It transpired that talking with this very man, this Malam in Katsina, that a lot of Hausa Fulani people are aware that Buhari is dead and that the occupant of Aso Rock is Jubril. But they are afraid of speaking out. This Malam Tanko Maikaswa and his fellow traders made it abundantly clear that the coming of Jubril Aminu al-Sudani is another magic from the once legendary Bashir Tucker from Sudan. That Jubril is another Sudanese that has come to rescue them, to stop power from drifting away from the north. You remember that thing about Islam, that you can lie your way through anything. You can lie to infidels, if that serves the purpose of Allah. So they are lying to everybody. Most people in the north are aware of what is going on, but they have decided to keep quiet. They are aware of what is going on in Aso Rock, that it is a blatant impostor from Sudan with different ear from that of any Buhari picture you can have a look at. Go and do this very simple experiment yourself. Look at the various parts of the outer ear. You can copy anything in life. You cannot copy fingerprint. You cannot copy or replicate snowflakes or make two snowflakes to be the same. You cannot change the outer ear that you have, the cartilage, your outer ear that makes you to hear very well, that captures sound and transfers it to the inner ear. The configuration is not the same in any two persons. Never, ever. Not even identical twins. He was asked why the Northerners prefer to keep this anomaly a top secret, despite their knowledge. They simply responded that it will be suicidal for them to attempt to openly state the truth. They are living under a climate of fear. They even told them, they spoke in Hausa language. I can't read that in Hausa because I cannot speak the language. But that if they can come to attempt to kill Nnamdi over the case of Jibril, then who are they? Who are they? He said even Nnamdi can't open. In fact, he was translated in English. Even Nnamdi can't open his mouth and said that the person in Nasarok is Jubril from Sudan. But the government sent soldiers who nearly killed him before he escaped from this country. This is what people are saying in Katsina. And if you doubt the story, you go to the palace of the Emir of Katsina and you will see the sword they claim they used to kill the python. That Bashir Toko used to kill the python. It is there till tomorrow morning. So you can go and have a look. This shows how formidable IPOB investigation team is. I can assure you. And it is time for Sudan to recall this very impostor. The Sudanese government must recall Jubril al-Sudani because a revolution is brewing. A revolution is brewing because the death of Buhari should have allowed power to transit to Sibajo, but due to the cowardice and lily-livered nature of some Yoruba journalists, they couldn't get up to speak the same way that Durakunyili spoke when Yaradua died. That is why we have a Jubril, a man from Sudan, presiding over Nigeria. This very consistent revelation of Jubril Aminu must continue. The cabal is on fire. They don't know what to do with Jubril's ear anymore. As I said, this expose is one at a time, so it can sink in. If people can appreciate that the same way that no two persons can have the same fingerprints is the same way that you cannot have the same design of your outer ear, then we are making progress, and now you are prepared to accept the result or be able to absorb the result of the DNA test. We must continue. This is Radio Biafra. The time now is 3 minutes to 9 p.m. in the evening. We are broadcasting to you live and direct from the state of Israel. This day, the 24th day of November in the year of our Most High Elohim, 2018. A lot of people are wondering what is going on. Why is it that nobody is rising up to speak? But the man that knew too much, Abakiari, the man that knows more than anybody else, is nowhere to be found. They said he went for medical treatment. Has anyone seen Abakiari? Is he back? I've not heard that he is back. I've not heard that he's back. And why was it that when they said the Southeast governors went to see Jubril, they sat so far away from him? They no longer want you to take close-up photographs of him. But I know that some of you have very intelligent smartphones these days. You can zoom it. Anywhere you see Jubril outside, zoom his ear and see exactly what we are telling you. If it has been padded up, we will know. If the size of his ear ever increases, we are going to know. I said this before and I'll repeat today. That anytime you try to ask Yoruba people at Oluwole that forge passports, they will tell you this. Anytime you want to travel or you succeed in traveling abroad and there is any doubt about the picture in your passport and who you are as a person, the first thing they do is what is called ear-to-ear measurement. Because no two ear measurements are the same. If you do ear-to-ear measurement on any of Buhari's old photographs and the one of Jubril recently from 2017 till now, you will see that they are not the same people. Is there anything at all confusing about the pictures? Is it not very clear? Are people saying it is not clear? Is it not very clear? Because we know what we're talking about. The time is coming up to the top of the hour, to 9 p.m. here in the Holy Land of Israel. This is Radio Biafra. If you're joining us for the very first time, you are blessed, because what you get from this platform is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The problem is that Nigerians are not sincere people. They are not sincere to one another and can never be sincere to themselves. there is need, a very great need for Nigerians to be sincere with themselves and to themselves. If anyone that calls him or herself a Nigerian can in truth reason, digest all the recent events and assimilate the enormity, I should say, of the evidence placed before them. I would say overwhelming evidence placed before them. Perhaps they might be worthy of assimilating what we are saying tonight. For record purposes, all of you know Sule Lamido, the former governor of Jigawa State, who told his supporters during the PDP primaries very openly that he will win, he will defeat Buhari because Buhari cannot speak Fulfude. Imagine if this type of thing can happen anywhere else. Imagine somebody rising up in Israel and saying to Benjamin Netanyahu, I'm going to defeat you because you cannot speak Hebrew. And Netanyahu will keep quiet. Can you believe that? Is that possible? Absolutely impossible. Look at the way that Aisha Buhari avoids the man in Asorok like a plague. Their bodies never touched. But the body of Jubril was touching that of Osibajo. There is always a gap. They could have gotten a settee for them, a two-seater, isn't it? Man and wife. But there is the handle, you know, this very thick handle of the upholstery chair was between them. And even a piece of paper, so that Jubril's hands will not wander over to Aisha. And he called her Mrs. Buhari. They were begging her to stand up and take photos. He cannot speak Fulani language, therefore he is not and can never be. Prince Charles visited with the wife, but nobody was there with Jubril. Aisha did not turn up. But surprise, surprise, during APC manifesto launch, because everybody around the world started complaining, they no longer see Aisha beside him. They went and wheeled her out because of this program here on Radio Biafra. They are trying to respond to the truth. Who doesn't know that Buhari was taller than Bukola Saraki before he died? Now Saraki is taller than Jubril. Nobody's asking any questions. Lai Mohammed said it's because his doctors asked him not to wear high heels anymore because of his health. That's what Lai Mohammed said. Why is Bukola Saraki all of a sudden taller than your own Buhari? He said because doctors advised Buhari on health grounds not to wear high heels. These are the sort of things you hear in the zoo called Nigeria. Governors Amosun and Okorocha threatened to reveal a certain secret about Asorok impostor. We all know this. Even WikiLeaks had it. They know what a minute silence is all about. I'm trying to recall all the things that happened leading up to this very point so that you don't forget. AU meeting in Addis Ababa. A minute silence was held for Buhari. Queen Elizabeth wrote a letter of condolence to Buhari. Buhari's jet left Luton Airport with his dead body to Saudi Arabia. Their wife traveled to Saudi Arabia to go and bury him and came back wearing a white outfit, which is the color of mourning in Islam. Others can wear whatever color, but the wife has to wear white. When she came back, she said the worst has happened. Look at the faces of northern governors when they held the emergency meeting chaired by El-Rufai. Look at their faces and you will know that Buhari is dead. In any reasonable country around the world, the citizens should have by now commenced a worldwide protest to demand the identity of their president. People write to me all the way. Some people wrote to me from United States of America. They're saying I shouldn't castigate black people. That I should take it easy with them. And I said to them, up until when should I take it easy with them? Can't they see what is happening? How can a man who used to be taller than a fellow man now become shorter? Did they remove any backbones in the body or what? What happened? And you dismiss it. Look at these two faces. Are they the same? Is this man and this man the same? Can anybody tell me that the Buhari they used to know is the same man that accompanied Aisha during APC manifesto launch last week Sunday? You know the answer is no. You know the answer is no. So then why do you pretend or suppose that the man in Asarok is Buhari when you know within your heart of hearts that is not? That shows who Nigerians are. And that is why they hate IPOB. That is why they hate Nnamdi Kanu, and that is why they hate the truth. And may Chukwu Okike Abiama have mercy on all of you Nigerians. Truly. This very key piece of evidence we introduced tonight will guide us as we march on towards the DNA revelation. We are masking Jubril, piece by piece, one evidence at a time, to show the world that the heart of a black man is evil, because Nigerian journalists know that this is not Buhari, but they are afraid to publish it. Sometimes I wonder if Western education is not wasted on us as well. We claim we are educated. We have so many degrees, but deep down, our brains are empty. We remain as primitive as baboons in the forest. Why am I saying this? I have given you the evidence you need. Go and study the various parts of the outer ear. And I want you to look at it tonight. Look at any old picture of Buhari. Look at Buhari's picture tonight, the one they claim is Buhari, which is Jubril. And tell me if they are the same. Tell me if the outer ear of the dead Buhari is the same with Jubril. The cabal must know that we are Biafrans and we are following this very case. We're not going to stop until Jubril is arrested. And a government of national unity, I'm not going to make trouble for them. I want them to return Jubril from whence he came, convene a government of national unity to discuss ways that a referendum may be conducted for Biafra to peacefully exit the damnable zoological republic. We can no longer be a part of this fraud. Rather than sitting down and saying, oh, it is a conspiracy theory, they made it up. Give me reasons as to why I must believe that Jubril is Buhari. I have given you reasons as to why I know that Jubril is not Buhari. Is it the facial structure? Is it the ear? Is it the mannerisms? What is it? Is it the fact that this one is shorter than the real Buhari? Is it the fact that he cannot speak indigenous Fulani language? Which one is it? Which other proof do you need, I ask? But of course, many more are coming. Those that say, those who are foolish enough to try to dismiss this as conspiracy theory, tell me why Buhari, that is right-handed, is now left-handed. Explain that to me scientifically. How is that possible? Now you know why things are the way they are for we black people, but we must proceed. This is Radio Biafra. I have decided to equip your brain. That's what I'm trying to do here. The brain of Nigerians. I am trying to equip their brain with the requisite knowledge. So when they see a DNA result, they can appreciate it or be able to interpret it. Because it is coming. To have the capacity to detect and to analyze and to act on empirical information available to you. Some of you go to university, you hear about empiricism. Some of you hear the word, it's very sweet. You recite it all the time, you don't know what it means. Everything I tell you on Radio Biafra is based on clear fact and provable evidence. If I leave my fingerprint here now and you lift it up and you take the fingerprint of Ikechukwu who is here with me in the studios and you go into a lab and you check it, you will see they are different. Your fingerprint is your fingerprint. It doesn't belong to anybody else. The same way with the configuration of your outer ear. It belongs to you and to you alone. So there is no way the dead Buhari could have had one set of outer ear configuration or design, so to speak, for lack of a better word, and Jubril will have something different. And you claim that both of them are Buhari. It is not possible. It is not possible. Abba Kyari knows a lot than he is willing to admit, not to accept. Anybody can see the picture taken with Donald Trump. It is there. You can see it. It is very, very clear. So you are telling me that the Fulani cabal in Nigeria knowingly, I repeat, knowingly sent a man who is not Buhari to go and see the most powerful man in the whole world. What an insult. And as I'm speaking tonight, CIA is going through all their files and their pictures, their video footage of Buhari's visit. And they will confirm and concur what I'm saying, that the man they sent to Trump is Jubril and not the dead Buhari. And that was why Trump said that he is lifeless. I have also warned you tonight that they may come out and wheel out a new Buhari, maybe late January of next year, before the election. Oh, look at the ear, is it not the same? I have also told you that if you want your own ear grown for you or your nose grown for you on the back of a rat, it will be done. I have given you proof. Have they been able to publish the pictures of the ear, the back of the rat? That is what they're trying to do right now. To grow Buhari's cartilage. That's what they're trying to do. On the back of a mice. So they can transplant it into whoever they bring to claim is Buhari. When I say that black people are stupid and cannot reason, most of you complain. They say I should speak like a head of state. But you speak like head of state to people who can understand what you're saying. Nigerians don't understand anything at all. They claim they're educated, but they are not. I am asking them this evening, can you tell me if you can prove to yourself that you don't have the same fingerprint with somebody else, and can also ascertain that no two outer ears are the same? Why is it that the outer ear of Jubril is different from that of the dead Buhari? That they can never answer. But they end up saying that both men are the same, or is the same person, when they know clearly that they are not. They are not and can never be. They know that the person wheeled out by the cabal to accompany Aisha to APC plagiarized next level manifesto they copied from online. Everybody knows it's not Buhari. I'm asking all of you to post the picture of that man with Aisha and ask any sensible person in the world, does this person look like Buhari to you? And hear what they will say. And then ask them, what is your justification for not coming out and speaking the truth? That this man is not Buhari. That the devil may be shamed. But they will not do it. Because those that control the media, some people in Yoruba land, they are too terrified to publish the truth. I saw a report. Somebody wrote what they claim Vladimir Putin said. And I think it is very, very apt at this point in time to read it out for the world to hear. Because I agree with it totally. Africa is a cemetery for Africans. When an African man becomes rich, his bank accounts are in Switzerland. He travels to France for medical treatment. He invests in Germany. He buys from Dubai. He consumes Chinese products. He prays in Rome or in Mecca. His children study in Europe. He travels to Canada, to USA, to Europe for tourism. If he dies, he will be buried in his native country in Africa. Africa is just a cemetery for Africans. And I ask, or somebody was asking, or maybe it was Putin that was asking, how could a cemetery be developed? I want our people to develop a keen sense of understanding and the ability to reason. As I keep saying all the time on radio, Biafra, the ability to reason is what makes you human. That ability to reason will make you begin to understand that Jubril is not Buhari. That understanding will make you begin to understand the extreme levels of provocation that IPOB is forced to endure each time we go out to march peacefully and the Nigeria police or the army confront us for no reason. That common sense will lead you to appreciate the fact that it is foolish to be conducting Operation Pattern Dance and Crocodile Smile in the south when Boko Haram is overrunning your formations in the north. That is pure common sense. It is also common sense and stands to reason that journalism or the media in any country should once in a while be able to rise up to the challenge and publish the truth. Or maybe some of these Yoruba media practitioners, they are so full of evil that they can never change. I don't know. If they're afraid of being in one Nigeria with Hausa Fulani people and they need the presence of Biafrans in it, they should come out openly and say so. They should come out openly and say so. We must continue. All media practitioners in the zoo called Nigeria have failed in their duty to investigate the overwhelming evidence we have placed before them. I have made it easier for them by giving them all the evidence. There are two more to come. Not today. There are two more to come. But the closer we get to the DNA, the more overwhelming the evidence becomes. I remember, can any of you remember when I told you that it was Obama that removed Jonathan? Do you remember? Can anybody remember it? On air, I said it live on radio. Even my deputy couldn't believe me. I told him that Obama removed Jonathan. As I was broadcasting, IPOB intelligence was giving me information. When they were pressuring Jonathan to hand over to Buhari, I was on the air telling the whole world that this is what is going on inside Aso Rock at this very moment. Jonathan published his book, and everything I said was corroborated. So anything I tell you is the truth. It may not hit you immediately. After a while, it becomes apparent. After a while, you begin to appreciate that everything I tell you, sitting behind this microphone, in any radio Biafra studio anywhere in the world, is the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. We must continue. We must expose the devil. And that devil is zoo journalism. Because they don't want to tell you the truth. They don't want to tell you what is happening. But we are here to expose it. Remember when they killed the man? Remember when they killed they claim they killed the man in Sudan. You know we were going through it. IPOB intelligence, we are reviewing what we know about that very diplomat. And it occurred to us that the man may not be dead after all. that it may not be dead after, because we've been trying very, very hard to locate where he was buried, and we cannot find one. And it's unusual for IPOB intelligence. Once we are set on something, we do it. We get it done. We have been looking for where they buried the diplomat. Rotimi Amechi, Chibika Amechi, not Rotimi, Chibika Amechi was his friend on Facebook. So he must know something. Maybe Rotimi or Chibika Amechi, I keep calling him Rotimi. Maybe Chibika Amechi can tell us exactly where they buried him, so we can ascertain something for definite. Because we think that something sinister is happening. We think that he may not be dead. We are still looking for him. We have been taking very deep action. Deep action, I call it. To present uncontestable evidence before Nigerians in this unmasking of the impostor masquerading as Buhari in Asorok. Till today, I cannot understand why somebody who is shorter than you before is all of a sudden taller than you and they're not wearing any high heels and you don't ask questions. Is that possible? I don't get it. I'm trying to go into the mind of your average Nigerian to try to understand that somebody who was taller than you before, suddenly you are not taller than that very person. And they're not wearing any heels. They have not done transgender operation and turned from a man into a woman to necessitate the wearing of high heels. Why can't you sit down and be able to reason and understand that they are not the same people? Why is it that somebody who could speak Fulani, indigenous language very clearly, all of a sudden can no longer speak it? His grasp and command of spoken English is now considerably better than it was before. You don't ask questions. A man who seldom appears with his wife, a man who calls his wife Mrs. Buhari, is that normal? Have you heard anybody before call the wife in a public occasion Mrs. your son and whatever it may be? These are abnormal things that are happening. Now, watch all the pictures being released of Jubril. They are taken from afar, or they are made to appear very fuzzy and hazy. And I also want you to go and get every picture of whoever they have paraded as Buhari and check out their ears. It is there. Before I blow your mind with what is coming up next week Saturday, because I want to take you along this journey one step at a time. Because if I come on air and tell you about DNA, you will not understand it. You won't. So I need to take you along one step at a time. What I said today about the ear, does it make sense to anybody? Is it very clear to everybody to comprehend? As you're checking Buhari's ear from his old pictures and comparing it with Jubril's ear, go and check your children. Check your mom, check your dad. And see if the configuration of the outer ear is the same. The answer is capital no. It is not the same. Instead of publishing the truth the way it is, Yoruba media with their friends in the north have rather resorted to calling me unprintable names. Because I am trying to make them see where they have decidedly gone blind. Jubril is not Buhari. He is a political impostor from Sudan. Everybody must keep a picture of what Buhari's ear looks like. If they bring out Jubril tomorrow with makeup around the ear, in order to try and create or recreate Buhari's ear, Buhari's outer ear, go back to the old picture they issued about that very person and you will see that the 2 ears are not the same. So they're in a very serious mess. If they tamper with Jubril tomorrow, we have old Jubril videos and pictures to go by. And we will be able to unmask him, no matter what they do. If all these political dinosaurs, these criminals, if all of them, all these people, telling you that you're political leaders, they're all criminals that you need together. All of them, Afeni, Federal, Hanese, all of them that you need together. They all want their children to be ministers like them. So why upset or disrupt the order? They don't care if you're free or not. They don't care if you graduate and end up driving keke napep for a living. They don't care. What matters to them is this glib one Nigeria. We must make our country strong. We must restructure our country. Restructure it to what? All of you sat quietly. One man. One single man. Muhammadu Buhari, now late, dead, decided to only appoint his people to the top security positions, to the top electoral body positions, to top judiciary as well. Do you know how long it took him to confirm Onogen? Have you people forgotten? Onogen, have you forgotten how long it took Buhari to accept? It was a battle, a big battle, because Onogen is not a Fulani man. Yoruba media kept quiet. This was the same Yoruba media that took Jonathan Goodluck to task for excluding Yoruba people. I don't know if you remember. They said we will not vote for him again because he ignored Yoruba people. He didn't give them any juicy positions. Anyway, but one can argue that Osibajo is the VP and they don't want to rock the boat. But they have sat there and watched as Awusa Fulani have cornered every sensitive, every reasonable position in the zoo. And I ask each and every one of you tonight, if INEC were to announce results next year, sometime in February, if I'm not mistaken, saying that Jubril won, the one you call Buhari, what do you think you will do? Are you going to protest on the streets? Nothing will happen. Because what matters to Yorubas more than anything else is that, or some Yorubas are hesitant to add, is that the zoo, Nigeria, remains as one. Those managing Buhari, Jubril, and claiming they are integrity in action have lied to you. They have deceived you. They have made a mess, a complete mess of your lives. They have made you a laughingstock before the whole world. If you think the world doesn't know that Buhari is dead, then you're dreaming. The only thing stopping them from saying it is because they don't want any chaos and breakdown of law and order on a large scale. That's all. Apart from that, they know what is happening. And that is why they treat you the way they do when you travel abroad. Even more so now than before. Common sense should have afforded these power-drunk individuals that their approach in resolving this Jubril fraud is very childish and laughable. It is not adding up at all. If you want somebody to challenge me, bring somebody who is educated and somebody who is learned. Not a former brothel manager in Loretta or Nochia. A former brothel manager that specializes in supplying brothels in Europe with Edo girls. Bring somebody far more intelligent, somebody far more coherent in the approach. If the convening of a world press conference will be time-consuming and much more financially tasking, they can call a local press conference for Jubril. In the U.S., Do you know that the president addresses the nation every week? A radio address every week to deal with any issues. When there was this allegation that Obama was not born on U.S. soil, did Obama not get a certificate to refute it? Did Obama not get a certificate to refute it? How much less a baboon somewhere on the dusty plains of the edge of the Sahara Desert in Katsina? That tells you all you need to know. Come out and prove us wrong. You cannot do it. They say he's keeping a very stoic silence, this dignified silence. But you are campaigning for an elected office. The day you submitted your name to INEC, dignified silence goes through the window. You must respond to things that people say that you are. But I'm sure by tonight, whatever lingering doubt people have or may have had will be dispelled instantaneously. I gave you first the diagram of an ear, and I asked you to look at it very carefully. Tell me if all those distinguishing characteristics you find on the outer ear can be located in Jibril's ear as well as Buhari's ear when he was alive. Go through the library pictures, you will be able to understand what I'm saying. We have raised multiple and evidently laden facts that is yet to be disproved. They lied and they lied. And I said to you when we started this unmasking of Jibril that when somebody lies to you, what does it mean? When somebody lies to you, what does it mean? What does it portend? What does it represent? What exactly? It is because they are trying to deceive you. Why is it that all of you Nigerians, you know that Femi Adesina lied to you? How come all of you know? How come all of you know that he never went to France, to Paris, that very event, but you all kept quiet? Why don't you ask Femi Adesina, what are you hiding from us? Why are you keeping this thing away from us? Why did you tell us that you are Buhari? Of course, it's Jibril. Why did you tell us that Buhari traveled to meet other world leaders at a summit when you cannot provide us any evidence that he did? You know that Femi Adesina lied, but you are all prepared to cover him up. How sad can that be? And tomorrow you will carry your Bibles and you will go to church and you'll be singing hallelujah, asking God to help you, asking God to deliver the zoo, Nigeria, when all of you are liars and deceivers. All of you Nigerians bar none. Liars and deceivers you all are. Simple, crude evidence you cannot see. Let me see who will dispute what I've told you tonight. I challenge that very person to dispute what I've told you tonight. That the two ears are not the same. Are there people challenging it? Is anybody challenging this very fact? Are you people checking at all? Are the ERATs on duty? Are they disputing it? No concrete argument. Just God punish you. I love that. I love that. They have nothing else to say. We have cornered them. Next week, something greater than this is coming. The DNA. The final of finals. Because tomorrow they will not showcase Jibril. Because he's here. I don't think nobody can do it in the morning. They can call a makeup artist to see what they can do in the morning. They'll call Nollywood people to see what they can do tomorrow morning. And I will tell our intelligence in Asarok, anytime you see a Nollywood makeup artist turn up tomorrow morning, you know they're working on his ear. Because we've caught him tonight. All his old pictures, it is very, very clear that they are not the same as that of Buhari. We must continue. This is Radio Biafra. This option will be preached. Wherever you're listening to us from, this is a live presentation. Sometimes we replay our broadcast, but this is a live presentation, and we are coming to you from the Holy Land of Israel. We at Chukwukika Biama decreed that this very gospel must be preached from. Some of you may not understand, nor appreciate what we are saying. Even Osibajo today said, Osibajo, the vice coordinator of the zoo, Nigeria's problem is lack of honest people in power. Did you follow that at all? This is what Osibajo said today. He said it. It was published on one of those Yoruba online media platforms. The problem is lack of honesty, which means that even Osibajo knows that Nigerians are dishonest, that those of them ruling you, that they're dishonest. They're not leading you. In the US is leadership, in Europe is leadership in a democracy. Here, Netanyahu is the leader. He's not the ruler. But in Africa, what you have are rulers, not leaders. Is it not very clear now? That even Osibajo knows. Maybe he's tired. He wants you to relieve him of the torture he's under. He's telling you that they are dishonest. When a vice president says that they are dishonest, and I'm telling you that they are dishonest, who else do you need to tell you that they are dishonest before you believe? That is why they are lying to you about Jubril. You and I know that Jubril is not dishonest. Even if you look at the faces, the pictures available, you will know that the man they claim to be Buhari is no longer Buhari, that Buhari is dead. They know that very, very well. These are the people that allow service chiefs to attend a manifesto launch of a political party. And they say they practice democracy. They say they have a parliamentary presidential democracy. They say they have rule of law in operation in Nigeria, where it is clearly stated that the service chiefs must be apolitical or apolitical, as the case may be. But they were corralled to attend Jubril's manifesto launch, all in a bid to sell this fraud Jubril as the real Buhari. But they have met their comeuppance, because I am here and I'm in Israel and I'm preaching this very gospel, and Jubril must be unmasked. If anybody tries to argue with you, tell them to show you the similarities between the ear of the dead Buhari and any of the Jubrils they've been parading all over the place. As I have said before, USA is listening. Israel is listening. The whole world is listening. They know that Jubril is fake, and that Radio Biafra exposed them, and they have no hiding place. Nigerians must not forget, because we are here to educate them, that INEC has requirements for whoever wants to be president. Has Jubril or Buhari provided his WAEC result till today? Does anybody know if they provided his WAEC result till today? So he can't even run, because there is a requirement. Oh no, but he can run because he's Fulani, and there's a Fulani IG of police, Fulani Army Chief of Staff, Fulani Commander of the Navy, or Rear Admiral, whatever they call the idiot. There's Fulani people everywhere. Even ordinary commissioners in states are Fulani men. So they can do whatever they like and get away with it. INEC is his cousin, isn't it? The INEC woman or man, as the case may be. They are all related together. Nepotism of the highest order. All that Yoruba needs to supersede to talk about is IPOB, Biafra, and Nnamdi. This Radio Biafra. We must conclude our program this very evening. And I thank each and every one of you for listening. I have given an assignment which I expect you to go through and study very seriously. for the next half an hour, at least to understand where we are going to. And also be aware that tomorrow they may change the appearance of Jibril, but nothing changes from the fact that Buhari is dead and that he's fake. Until we meet again next week on this very platform, same time, same place. From me, from here, it is good evening.